0039 SM. This is State of Michigan versus Darien Long. Sir, would you state your name for me, please?
Darien Long, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Long, the way the court staff have you labeled indicate that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct?
That is correct, ma'am.
Sir, the court is in receipt of a plea form from APA Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Mohammed that indicates that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to count 1, brandishing in public, and count 3, assault or assault and battery, and that count 2, assault or assault and battery would be dismissed, that the brandishing plea would have a delayed sentence for 12 months, and the assault and battery would have a delayed sentence for 4 months. Was that your understanding, sir?
Yes, ma'am. My understanding would be that those sentences would be delayed, and as long as I don't have any criminal interactions, those cases will be dismissed.
Okay, Mr. Long, the other issue is that before I swear you in and take the formal plea, I want to disclose to you that I'm married to an elected official in Van Buren Township. I make that disclosure as Van Buren Township is the issuing agency in this case, the police department involved in this case. My husband is not involved in the day-to-day operations of the public safety department. He doesn't know anything about your case. He doesn't even know that it's scheduled. That disclosure having been made, sir, are you prepared to enter the plea this morning, or would you like this case assigned to another judge?
No, I don't question your integrity, ma'am.
Mr. Long, would you raise your right hand for me, sir? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
Nothing other than what I stated, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty, sir, because you are in fact guilty?
I'm going to say no, but it is expedient and reasonable.
No, sir, we don't do expedient here. If you're not pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty, we can set this matter for pretrial. You can come back, you can have the opportunity to speak to a court-appointed attorney. You may retain your own counsel and appear back. So how would you like to proceed this morning?
I would still like to proceed with the plea, ma'am.
So I'll ask you again, Mr. Long, are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Long, is it true that on October 6, 2023, that you did brandish a firearm in public?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it also true that on that day, October 6, 2023, again in Van Buren Township, that you did make an assault and battery upon one Zachary Denniston?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Long, the court will accept your pleas as to count 1 and count 3. Count 2 is dismissed. As indicated by the form submitted by the prosecutor, the sentence for count 1 is delayed for a period of 12 months, again, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan during that 12 months. The case will be administratively reviewed for dismissal. As for the assault, the court will impose costs of, I'm sorry, hold on one second. Okay. As for the brandishing, sir, let's start with that. Is there anything you'd like to say before the court assess costs in this matter?
I wasn't aware that there were going to be any fines and fees.
What did you think would happen, sir, as a result of you pleading guilty to brandishing a weapon and assaulting somebody?
Well, we agreed upon a delayed sentence. That's what we agreed upon.
And Mr. Long, I will ask again, if that's not what you wish to do this morning, we can reschedule this matter. You can have the opportunity to either retain counsel of your own or appear at the next pretrial date and speak to one of the court-appointed attorneys. It's up to you.
I understand that, Judge Martin. I just wasn't aware there were any fines and fees.
Then let me finish. I'll read the full sentence agreement. In addition to the pleading to the brandishing with a 12-month delayed sentence and a 4-month delayed sentence to the assault and battery, during this period of time, defendant is to commit no crimes or violations in this or any other venue in Michigan. Following a successful completion of the specified period and upon payment of costs assessed by the court, the plaintiff prosecution recommends dismissal under MCL 771.1. And he indicates that you will take anger management classes and other terms set by the court. So that being the case, Mr. Long, what are we doing this morning?
I guess we're going forward, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Long, as for count 3 assault and battery, the court is imposing costs of $400, and for the brandishing, $100. That's a total of $500. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay this amount?
I need 30 days, ma'am.
30 days to pay and anger management as indicated in the agreement offered by the prosecutor. Mr. Long, did you verify your address and phone number with court staff this morning?
No one asked me. And so if my understanding, am I to take these anger management classes within 30 days as well, ma'am?
No, you need to take them before the end of the delayed sentence, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Long, we have you on O'Hara Drive. Is that still a good address for you?
That is, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else this morning, Mr. Long?
No, it's been quite enough, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Long, have a good day. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
took the cuffs today. How y'all doing? You know, I got to get some things off my chest. Y'all can donate to my little fund here. Cause I took the cuffs today. I got arrested. What do you mean? What does that mean? I took the cuffs. I got arrested. That's what it means. You hear me all the time tell you don't fight the police. If you know, take the cuffs. I took the cuffs. Man, I took the cuffs today. I got arrested. Got fingerprinted, processed, photographed, the whole 9, man. I got arrested today. I could have been charged with a felony. I called a misdemeanor. It was what the Boondocks would refer to. If you don't know the Boondocks, it's a cartoon. You should look it up. But everybody who watched this channel should know what the Boondocks about that show. Watched the first 3 seasons. I don't know about the 4th. But the Boondocks would refer to it as it. Oh yes, no doubt, Corey. You knew where I was going, didn't you, Corey? Over something that really didn't have to happen. Now, they said I did something that I didn't do. I didn't do it. But they looked at the video from the building's camera and it appeared to them that I did it. So what did I say? Video kill, he said, she said. Left nothing but cognitive distortion. Now, it was over nothing. And they side-talked me. So I exercised some bad judgment. So they side-talked me. You don't know what side-talking is. Side-talking is you talking to somebody else. Like I'm talking to Tom, but what I'm saying is really for Steve. So he was talking to a store associate, but what he was saying was really for me. And so I addressed it. And then we went back and forth. And then at the same time, we said, well, what you gonna do? I thought that was at the time, I thought that was kind of comical and hilarious, although I didn't laugh. And then it went someplace else from there, right? And then he said something that triggered me, that made me stand on something. Now, it's funny because I wasn't even going to make this video, but I read in one of my comments, some guy was talking about he did executive security for a living, and he talked about how my interactions at the Metro Mall were all bad. That I really handled a lot of things the wrong way. I mean, generally, that's how I handled the situations down at the Metro Mall. If you gonna talk that stuff to me, then I'm gonna take you right there and see what you about. Now, the police that I was dealing with today, that's how you want the police to act. Of course, the police, if they're dealing with a suspect, that's how I was acting. That's how they want me to, how they would want the suspect to act. Because I told them, I'm not going to fight the police. I mean, if I got to take the cuffs, they can take the cuffs. They extended me a few courtesies, which is probably why I'm standing here talking to you. They did that for me. They extended a few courtesies for the investigation, and I appreciate that. They were professional in every way. One or two of them, well, one in particular, dog, the one who actually put the cuffs on me, man, he felt like, sometimes I felt like he was cool, but sometimes I felt like he just wanted to get into the mix a little bit. But, I don't know. They just extended me some courtesies in that police department. I'm fine with them. I ain't got no problems with them. In fact, one of the last things that I said to one of the officers is that I need some mandatory counseling. So whatever comes of this, I don't need no anger management classes. I need some mandatory counseling. I've been resisting that counseling because I got that weapons permit, but I need some mandatory counseling. And then I think the last thing that I have to say about this, because I turned my back to the guy. I told the cop, he said, you watched the video. Did you see me turn my back to the guy? I said, that's because he wasn't a threat. I didn't consider him a threat. No matter what was said back and forth between us, what you think that I did as a result of that, going back and forth, I turned my back to the guy because I didn't think he was a threat. It was just a couple of cats, older cats talking, just talking, right? He'd been 10, 15 years younger. I would have never turned my back to him. But, so I don't really consider him a threat. But I do want to say this. During this back and forth, he said he wasn't one of them soft ass. That's what he said to me. He wasn't one of them soft ass. But then he turned around and called the police. So I don't know if you was soft nigga or not. I don't even know your name. When we get discovery, I ain't never gonna see him. I just want to see the video. I may look at his statement and point out the inconsistencies of his statement. But I hope to never see the man again, right? But I'm not mad at you because I'm going to get the mandatory, I'm going to make them mandate some counseling. I need some counseling. So that's what they need to do. They need to mandate it. So I make sure I get it done. So that's about all I got to say. I needed the arrest because I need the counseling. I'm going to get the counseling. Because I've been resisting going to get some counseling because I got my weapons permit. But I need the counseling. So, and I didn't do what they said I did. I haven't seen the video, but I didn't do it. I know I didn't do it. So, because there was no intent there to do it. But I did, but I will test it. But I tested his word for sure. And I've been out here too long, and and I know what to do and not to do, and that's not something that I would do. So, okay. Now that I'm done with that, y'all ain't getting no more goddamn details out of me. It's all good. That's why I told, and I hate to say this, that's why I told, I get the counseling that I need. I'm thankful for the arrest that I got today because it takes me down the path that I need to go. I need the counseling. Not anger management classes. Waste of time. I need counseling. Takes me down that path. Mandatory. Then the arrest. Then today's arrest will have turned out to be a good thing.